going to talk about the training devices.
Yes.
And the training system that we call the reaction trainer, but it's also the basically the training device for the fencing. Okay? We have it in the two variants. That's one, basically the big one, the training device with the remote control. And we have a smaller one, it's more like for the individual use, like that. Okay, this is a small one, like that you can carry with you, you can have it in your pocket and use it at home, in a gym, in the office or on a beach, anywhere. This training devices comes with the exercises on DVDs, how to use it, manual, and with exercises. This is a 48 exercises comes together with the training devices. But if you know the principles, then you can create unlimited number of exercises for these training devices. Okay, what is the main concept? Okay, the first concept is that you can't train more than already people training. Many of national teams in the world are training 6 days a week, 7 days a week, 3 times a day. And this resource already finished. You can't train more than people training in the world. You can remember the old times when we have a few, 5, 6, 7 countries in the world, like Soviet Union, for example, where the fences have a centralized training camps. Then they will live in a hotel and on a training base, and they were training 2 or 3 times a day. And this was one of the reasons why they were winning the other countries, because most of the countries was the amateurs. They were training like amateurs. Now, everybody train professionally. Everybody. You will not find now the country where the people train 2 times a week. That's why we can say that here the people reach the ceiling. You can't train more. Now, what's the solution? It means you must not train more, you must train better. Yes, but
train smarter.
Yeah, but how better? Yes. The solution is not to train more everything, but you train more as specific components, as specific parts of the training. That the most important thing for fencing is motor reactions. Reactions, what is motor reaction? It's a response to the certain stimulus. Now, in any sport, everything what happens, this is a response to the certain stimulus, or it's visual, or it's audio, or it's tactile. Now, it's well known in the world, but also in fencing, that you train a certain motor reactions in fencing that consist of hidden period and motor component. The hidden period, it's when you got some signal, then first the brain analyzes it, then gives correct order to the muscles, and then muscles execute certain action. When the muscles do something, this is a motor component. While you see it, you analyze it, and then you send the signal to the muscles. This is a hidden period. Now, the principle is that basically you need to train certain actions more than other people do. must be chosen a certain exercises that you can train more. Yes, the most effective way of training in fencing is the individual lesson. Because coach create for you, coach is universal machine and create you any situations that you have about to specialize your motor reactions, your responses to the certain stimulus, visual or tactile or audio. In that way, that will help you in the bounce. But training, what the coach can't manage to train certain reactions more than certain times. That's why to achieve this you need to use specific training devices. We created such devices and developed a special programs for these devices. Basically, with this device you can do everything what you do in a bout or everything that you do with your coach in a lesson, because it's imitate you. It's like simulator, you know, you got a flight simulator. This is the fencing simulator. It gives you the ability to train the specific situations that happens in the fencing bout more times than you can do it with the coach. One of the popular ways to train more is to do more bouts.
Yes, of course, but we don't have time for that all the time.
No. You have bouts, you have more bouts, you have more you train, because it's that situations that happens in a real fighting, in a bout, and you fence more bouts, you will be better. This is not exactly right, because the bouts, they train motor reactions, sure, but they not train them selective. And some things they improve, some things they destroy. That's why the fencers all their life they're taking lessons from the coach, because during the lesson the coach tune up, correct all your reactions in a correct way, because bouts can damage some of the correct reacting. I can give you example of that. One of the very popular actions, say in some period of time, was one action that was called false counterattack peri-riposte. What it means now, if you do your attack, if you see that your opponent counterattacking, already hitting you, you want to hit quicker to finish your attack. Otherwise the person will hit you first. That's why in defense, if you do false counterattack, you getting your opponent to finish quicker. Then you do false counterattack and peri-riposte. It's like a trap that you put for your opponent. Because this action was so popular, and fencers did it a lot, it was a period of time then some fencers, for the false counterattack, started to react not with the shortening the attack, but prolonging it, making more things. Like started to react opposite. And it was definitely never trained by the coaches. This is what how the bouts influenced the fences. Then another action was developed with what was called false counterattack, real counterattack. But that's not the point. I explained you that the bouts, they are helping, but they're also damaging as well. In this situation, you need to choose the certain actions you should train them more than other people or other fences train. For that, what we have that training device. Got only two lights. This is red and green, as you can see. Why only two? The human brain is made that way that we choose between two. Mostly choose between two alternatives. I don't want to say that we can't choose between three or we can choose between four. We can. But as soon as we're starting to choose between 3 or 4, our reaction time drops tremendously. For example, I can give you the example in saber, where a lot of mistakes happens when you want to parry cut or 5 cut. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sometimes saber fences mistaken here because they've got 3 sectors. Or even if saber fencer know that at first you choose between in and out, and then when you choose between in and up. It's like 2 stages choice. This is just a little illustration of what I'm saying. That's why basically we need only 2 signals to train. When you have targets, electronic targets, like with the 5 different lights that lights up, it doesn't train. Because you don't choose between 5.
I need 2.
We can say that motor reactions of humans are quite good researched. A lot of people in the world research the motor reactions. The research has been done for the pilots, for the astronauts, for the some people working in the dangerous jobs. You know, when you need to react quickly on a certain stimulus and everything, it is scientific researches on all of that. If we talk about maybe some of the materials that you can read. But this is a very good book. It's a motor learning. Richard McGill. Here you can find all that scientific research is about different reactions with the graphs, and this book is a popular book. I don't remember what edition is that one, but I know that it's already 7th edition out. It was republished 7 times. Means it's a big demand on that.
Absolutely.
Okay. The system that we use, the researches that been done, are published in many of other books. That's other books that published by David Tyshler, my father, together with Professor Keller. They researched motor reactions of the fences in the 50, 60 years ago. And during last 50, 60 years, we were working on that problem. Programs and the system that we developed are based on many of the scientific researches done by us. Now, let's come to the training device. Training device got 8 different programs. First, this is a start. You push start. Here, the button, you can choose the program from 1 to 8. Program 1, simple motor reaction. What is simple motor reaction? This is when you have some signal, visual or audio, tactile, and for this stimulus, for this signal, you react with the one exact response. This is a simple motor reaction. For example, in fencing, I know that my opponent is preparing the long, deep attack. Then I decided that I'm going to do attack on a preparation. And I wait, I move forward and backwards. Only my opponent started to do execute attack, I do attack on a preparation, lunge. This is a simple motor action. Or I know that my opponent going to attack me to the inside sector with a step lunge direct. Then I wait for attack. When the person attack, I do parry, cut, riposte. That's simple motor action. I want to, in the beginning, for you to understand that when we're training motor reactions with this device, we're training basically the specific fencing movements. We don't train our finger to push the button. We train exact fencing bout action. And it's better if you train the technique with the tactical intention together. That what you train, the technical move consists of a tactical intention as well. It's not just a hit to the wall or target. This is a counter-action to some of your opponent's actions. It's got a tactical meaning as well. Okay. This is the program 1. Simple motor action. Now the program 2. This is a simple motor action with distraction. What is distraction? Richard McGill in this book, they call it discrimination reaction. When you have certain stimulus when you react, certain stimulus that you react, certain stimulus that you don't react to it. We call it distraction. That happens a lot in fencing. You always need to know, are you go or you not? Will you react to this action or you not? The people are doing a lot of false actions in fencing. False attack, false parries, false retreats. It means certain things that you must react and certain stimulus that you should ignore. Here, in a second program, you have training of a simple motor reaction with distraction. You choose the program, then you push start. Give you signal first, 2 lights with the sound that gives you on guard, get ready. After that, you've got signals. The one signal, this is a order to execute the action. If you've got double signals, this is distraction. You shouldn't react to it. You should ignore it. To go or not to go. All the training programs is made in the packages of 10. You've got 10 times to execute this exercise. Plus, prepare and finish of the exercise. The next program, you choose another program. Number 3. Start. On guard or ready, You're ready to exercise. Now you react. Program number 3. This is a choice reaction. A lot of time in fencing, you need to choose between two alternatives. My opponent is attacking me. Yeah, I must choose between to block inside or outside. Or when I attack, I need to choose the sector, in or out, or upper sector or lower sector. This is a choice reaction. The device will give you on guard, then it gives you the choice. You can train attacks, you execute attacks to the right or to the left, or you choose between parry and defense. Many exercises here you can do with a target, or you can do without target. That's called shadow fencing, or you have it in boxing or in tennis, in many sports where you imitate a certain movements of the footwork or any actions that help you to train as well. Next reaction. This is a choice reaction with a distraction, where you have to choose between two alternatives. Or you parry or you counterattack. Or you do attack on a preparation or you do parry riposte. Or different alternative. But you're also not reacting to the false attacks or false actions of your opponent. Where you hear, let's say, double signal. It's right or left. Or you go here or there. Or you block here or there. Or you choose between different actions. Next program. This is a switching reaction. When you already know what you're doing, you did the correct action, but the situation changed. And you need to switch from one decision to another one. That happens when you already choose the sector of your attack, but you see the parry there and you switch to another sector. Or you try to block the blade of the opponent, but your opponent did a disengagement and you switch from not successful parry to the second one. How it works? On a first signal, you execute the exact action. For example, with the signal you do attack, step lunge to the target. But if after the first signal, in a certain period of time, you have another one, then you switch from this sector to another one, or if you start executing your attack and you see correct in time counter-attack of your opponent, you switch to block the counter-attack. The same in defense, where you took the parry, but then your opponent changed and you switch to counter-attack in AP, or you switch from one sector to block another one. This is a switching reaction. The program number 6 is a switching reaction with a distraction. Now the program number 7. This is a training of a distance, or training of anticipation, distance anticipation in attack or in defense. The example of the exercise. You standing near the target. With the signal, you move backwards with the steps. When you hear the second signal, you execute the attack. The difference, the distance between the signals will be always different. That's why the distance to the target will be different. That will make you to do correct footwork. Here you will train your coordination in the footwork, or you do step lunge, or you do step lunge, or maybe you do step lunge and the lunge. To correct coordination to reach the target. Also, it will be always different distance, and you need to anticipate the distance to not to miss. Another way of training the same exercise, to start attack from the middle of the piece. With this first signal, you start moving forward slowly with the steps. With the second signal, you execute fast attack. That will help you to correctly measure the distance to the target and will really improve your accuracy in the hits. The program number 8. This is just 3 random signals here. You can create a lot of different exercises for this. When, for example, for the footwork, on one signal you do step lunge, on another signal you do 3-step backwards, on a third signal you don't react, and then you move forward, backwards, signal you go step lunge, forward, backwards, 3-step back, another signal you don't react. And this can be used for the individual person, or you can use it for the group exercises as well. You can create many different exercises for that. The device is made that way. They've got a microprocessor inside that generates unpredictable sequence of the signals according to the algorithm of the program that we put in. It means this is not just a random beeps. The random, only program number 8. This is just the random beeps. All other programs, this is not random beeps. This is a specially designed the program of a computer-generated unpredictable signals. And the signals algorithm are based on our 50 years of scientific research. Algorithm of these signals. Okay, a little bit about the device. Got rechargeable battery. First of all, you can mount it on the wall if you want. For example, in many fencing halls, you've got already existing fencing targets that people train. Now what you can do, you can just mount the device on top of the existing target in the hall, or on existing targets. You can put like 10 devices there. You can train. Alternatively, you can put it on a stand, on a tripod, and use it for the training for the group. You can use it for individual training and for the group training. If you're really speaking about the national teams training, or club together training, or different other university or whatever teams training, that people come to the hall, they have a general warm-up, then they have some specific warm-up, then all group have a footwork training for 10 minutes. After that they have exercises near the mirror for 5 minutes. I suggest to include in the everyday training process the exercises on the training devices, where you can put a group, 10 people near the targets, and for 10 minutes they will do exercises for training the specific motor reactions. You can choose, today we train this reaction, tomorrow we will train that, or 2 or 3 different reactions in a day. And you do it every day. For that we've got remote control. Okay? For the coach, where the coach can put the group to the targets that's on the wall, or on a tripod in the hall, choose the program, change the program, change the program. They then say this is the exercise they're going to do. Let's start and do it. They did 10 attempts. Then you say, okay, again. That's easy to work with the groups here. Also, this remote control will help the wheelchair fences, because they will have a target at home or in the hall. They come, they train, they switch the program, or they start exercise with the remote control. It will be very convenient for them. We have a specially designed training system with the 48 exercises on the video for the wheelchair fences. Specially designed for them. One more. To have ability to train different distances and different fencing actions, you have 4 speeds here. That you can change the speed of exercise. 2 lights here, that the slowest mode. When you can do attacks, for example, from the bigger distance, that you can train some actions with a step forward lunge and a lunge to the target, and then come back to the initial position and wait for the signal. Or if you come close and you stand just near the target, when you train just direct hits, maybe with the hand, or just use the lunge, then you can switch to the fastest mode is no lights. But it's the 4 different speeds. We recommend you to, when you train the switching reaction, for example, then you need to have the slowest mode. Otherwise you will not have enough time for the switch. What's important also, that here we're not training just some reactions. We're basically training the technique of the fencing. We train the technique of the real bout actions based on the correct motor reaction, on the correct response to the certain stimulus. This is a big device. We also have a small device like that. Both training devices come together with the DVD, with the complete instructions, also in the different languages, and with the video exercises for the fences and for the wheelchair fences. Also with the set of the audio tracks in MP3 exercises, then you can put in your phone and just listen to the instructions. You can put it in your Android phone or tablet, the manual with the written exercises. Means a complete set of all instructions here. As I told you, the small one you can carry with yourself all the time. What's important here, these devices will be very useful not only for the national teams, but for the many people who combine the sport with the personal life. For the students who going to university, for the people who work, who can't have 6 trainings a week, then they can easily train at home or at the gym, or even in the office, to have 10 minutes a day to do some fencing exercises, to imitate it, to use a shadow fencing, to have a small target attached somewhere to the wall where they can do these fencing exercises and specialize their motor reactions. That will definitely help, and you will see much improvement in a few months in your fencing if you will do that. This is also have a rechargeable battery here. One more difference, that here you can connect the headphones here. Just put your headphones, put this in the pocket, and do some exercises using only audio signals. You can switch it on, choose the correct program, and it will give you the lights. This lights is enough for you to see. But together with that, or you can use is just the audio signals, which for the brain is not much of a difference. Another thing that if you want, you can connect a standard speaker that people use now for their mobile devices, and it will give you the same signals if you want, audio signals as well. It means that both devices that you can use individually, or you can use that one for the group, it will really help you to train.